Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh, and someone sent me this replay a couple of weeks ago saying that they were sick of seeing Terran versus Zerg and Terran just dominating Zerg all over the place, so he wants to see a really good Protoss versus Terran, and he found this one on some Korean replay site, and the players are NEXGenius. He's got like a 62% win ratio on the Korean ladder, and he's at about 1600 or 1700 points, so he's in the top, I want to say 15 over there on that ladder, and his opponent today is MakaPrime. You can't read it because it's in Hangul, but that's MakaPrime. As far as I know, it said actually in the replay details that it was MakaPrime, so I'm not sure why in the English replay loader, i.e. Battle.net 2.0, it actually says MakaPrime, and then when you actually get in the game, it just gives me this Korean Hangul, so a little bit of a weird discrepancy, but whatever. And I mean, all the building names are in English too, Supply Depot, things like that. But anyway, I said anyway several times now. Both players starting very normal, is what I wanted to say, and I hope this game is epic. I actually have not watched it yet. It is, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it, it's going to be a longer game, it's going to be 2 parts, so I hope that I can keep up with everything going on. Korean players have a tendency to have all their units moving at all times, so in the later game this could actually get a little hairy, but we'll just have to see. I'm going to take this guy's word for it, and if it turns out to be a very boring game, then I'll never accept a replay from you guys again. How does that sound? I'm just kidding. Yeah, like I said, take this guy's word for it. We'll see what happens. So far it's just standard stuff, though. We have the very simple Terran opening of Depot Barracks Refinery. Gonna get that orbital command immediately when that barracks finishes, most likely. And NEXGenius doing a very normal Protoss build, Pylon Gateway Assimilator. Second pylon, Cybernetics Core will go somewhere, maybe right here, maybe up here somewhere. But Cybernetics Core is pretty much the guaranteed bet. Yep, there it is. Because if you were going for faster gateways, he probably would have just held off on this assimilator. So the Cybernetics Core, very expected. Maka is going to get in here with his SCV and see the second gas coming kind of quickly. That suggests, more higher tech play rather than 2 or 3 gateways or even 4 gateways on Xel'Naga Caverns here. I forgot to mention, Xel'Naga Caverns is the map. This is actually the 4th time I've started to record this match because of various problems, but anyway, Maka has chosen to react to this by building a reactor. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so probably going to be seeing lots of Marines and tanks, if I had to guess. That 1 gas is going to be nice, but since he's getting a reactor here, he obviously is not going to be spending any gas on upgrades or marauders or anything like that, so factory with tanks probably going to be the best bet for his next building. I'll get that production tab up so I don't miss anything, but Warp Gate Tech researching very quickly. Maka, or actually Genius rather, has not built any gateway units except for a single Zealot to ward off that SCV, and now he does go for that robotics facility. So 1 gate robo off double gas for Mr. Genius, and we'll have to see if he is in fact a genius, but Maka getting a second barracks, so I may have been wrong about the Marine tank push, or the Marine tank opening. It looks like he is just going double racks fast expand instead. That 1 gas is going to be all he needs for quite a while, probably going to be throwing up. I mean, with this much gas unspent, Tech Lab is pretty much to be expected, and a factory right after, but we'll just have to see. I'm no MakaPrime, or MakaPrime, or any Prime, to be honest. But Genius back at home, throwing up another gateway and another pylon, staying on top of that supply cap. He is not expanding. He has not scouted Maka at all. Wow, that's actually a little bit surprising. But Maka is doing a good job staying all around the map, keeping this SCV nearby the natural of Genius so that he can see right when he expands, if he ever expands. Bunker coming down at the ramp for Maka. He hasn't really seen a whole lot out of Genius either. He doesn't know about the second gateway or the robotics facility, so really surprised at the lack of early game scouting out of these Korean pros. And I say pros, but really no one's really a pro yet still in StarCraft 2, even though the game's been out over a month now. These guys are just very good. I'll hold off on using the word pro until we actually have some teams set up and things like that with sponsors, but Genius does find that scouting SCV, which is a little bit surprising because I thought Maka had that hid pretty well. He can kind of guess now, though, that since his scout was found and killed way over here, he can kind of guess that Genius was expanding around now anyway. So this first observer out for Genius, going to get his first look at Maka's base. He will see this Marauder and the 2 barracks with various add-ons. The factory did come next. He hasn't built anything out of it. He just used it to tech straight to that starport. His second orbital command is done, and he's actually building SCVs out of both orbital commands right now before floating it over and trying to secure that natural. So that's a bit interesting. I haven't seen this play very often. He's under no pressure right now, and he's still building SCVs for his main mineral line before floating it over. That, I don't know, that could be very creative and intellectual play, but like I said, I've never seen it before. Maybe we'll see it more often after this. But he is, he's getting his economy fully thriving before sending that command center orbital command over to his natural. He will be able to fully saturate it pretty quickly with this many SCVs, so I'm not sure what the delay is. But he's scouting around, just make sure there's nothing flying around his base yet, no void rays or anything like that. Don't even know if he's dropped a scan. No, he hasn't. So Genius basically building in peace here with his 2 warp gates. He does have a robotics bay up, so he did go for that fast Colossus, but he doesn't have enough minerals to create one just yet. That's a bit interesting. After expanding, he does have this base pretty much saturated on the minerals, but has not built either of his 2 gases yet. Finally, a Colossus does start to come out. Did he upgrade that range yet? No, he hasn't. So he actually had like 600 gas there. That's a bit surprising as well. But now Maka finally pushing out here, building a bunker out in front of this natural. So many SCVs has been built out of this second orbital command. It's crazy. He didn't even use the energy. Like, he's got 83 energy saved up there. I'm not sure if he's fearing Dark Templar or something, saving up scans. I don't know what's going on there. But his spending is really, really good. Look at this, 40 minerals, 20 gas, opposed to Genius, who has over 300 of both, until right then when he was forced to build another unit to try and fend off Maka's first push. He's moving in with a bunch of Marines and Marauders. He does have Stim already upgraded. Does he have concussive shells or shields? No, he does not have either of those. But he is going to press in here. Genius does have a small tier 1 mix, warping in a couple of Zealots here in the front line, and a Colossus with no upgraded range. So is he going to pursue this army? Yes, he is. Maka is just going to run away most likely, though. He could even send a Marine or 2 back. No, he kind of slipped up a little bit and didn't need to take that much damage or those losses, but unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Genius, a couple of Marines did die there. So Genius is now getting up number 3 and 4 for his assimilators. He's getting all that gas that he needs for these upgrades and these Colossi. He's up to 3 warp gates now. Another gateway coming out now in front of his natural. He's breaking down the rocks here at the high yield with that first Colossus and these Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries. Maka is rallying all his troops back home finally. He does have all these guys protecting his natural expansion that he is finally using the energy from this command, this orbital command. But he has 2 Ravens and a Viking out now, coming out of 2 starports. He's got 1 with a reactor and 1 with just a tech lab to get those Ravens out quickly. 4 barracks now, 2 with reactors and 2 with tech labs. Pretty good mix. If he's got the money to support it, and off of 2 bases, I feel like he will be able to do just that. So lots of bio units. Ravens and Vikings are the units of choice for MakaPrime, and he is using his factory as a scouting unit, so it looks like we're not going to be seeing any Hellions or tanks or even Thors coming anytime soon out of Maka. Genius did manage to break down those rocks finally. It looks like he is going to send... no, I saw an observer. I thought it might have been a probe, but he hasn't chosen to start warping in a Nexus just yet. Looks like Maka is going to fly around with his Ravens and Vikings to do some sort of work. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing with those. Maybe just hunting observers. He probably did kill one of those observers, maybe with one of his Marines back here. There was an observer parked out here where those Ravens were, so wouldn't be surprised if he was able to kill that off. Looks like Genius is ready for a push of his own now with these first 2 Colossi. His range should be upgraded now. Yes, it is. He's teching on more pylons all the time. He could actually support another production structure, possibly even another robotics facility, if not just another gateway. But looks like he is controlling his spending pretty well anyway, under 100 minerals and gas there when I looked. But Zealot legs being upgraded now, finally. Maka has all of his upgrades rolling as well with those combat shields and infantry weapons level 1. He's got more Ravens coming out all the time. Never seen a Terran player invest this heavily in Ravens this early into the game. I guess we'll see just how effective like his point defense drones and his auto turrets are going to be later on. But he's breaking down the rocks here, leading to his 3rd we'll be able to break those out with no interruptions. And it looks like Genius might be doing the same over here. No, he is not. He is finally sending a probe here to eventually build this Nexus. He does have the cash to go ahead and do that now. His spending is getting a little bit behind, as basically these gateways are all off of cooldown, but he has plenty of money to make more units. He needs to go ahead and spend all that dough to be able to keep up with Maka, who is still very in control of his spending. More Vikings coming out all the time. There are no air units really except observers for Genius, but all these Colossi will be prone to these Viking attacks. 2-point defense drones, 3-point defense drones coming out very quickly from those 3 Ravens. Vikings are able to take out the Colossi without taking any shots from those Stalkers. These Ravens are soaking up a lot of damage actually. All these Vikings are going to be able to take out at least 2 Colossi, maybe even a 3rd one here. And he probably will get the 3rd one. Yes, he might back off before he gets the 4th. I don't know. Genius still has a lot of units. He's back way out of range of those original point defense drones, but now another one is down. That one point defense drone finally does die. Maka is landing Vikings back here. I'm not sure why. They didn't get any damage done there. And now his small bio force is starting to get taken out by these Stalkers and extra range Colossi. So looks like both forces lost quite a few units. Genius actually may have come out the better there, despite losing those 3 Colossi that are very resource intensive, because Maka basically lost all his Vikings. He lost a good amount of bio. Luckily he saved these 2 Ravens. He can actually repair those back up to full health. But I don't know, the exchange I feel like might be in Genius's favor, because he can replenish those Colossi pretty quickly. He's adding on 2 more gateways. Still would like to see another robotics facility just so he can you know, create 2 Colossi at a time when his resources get out of control. And he did get a Templar Archives while I wasn't looking. He got Blink. He has Blink researching right now. He got that Templar Archive up, and it looks like he's getting Storm first before that amulet, but Storm will be a good choice. Actually, High Templar in general will be a good choice against those Ravens with feedback and Storms for the bio units, so I like the direction that Genius is going. Maka is repairing up these Ravens as expected, and also finally expanding over here to his 3rd. Genius has had this high yield up and running for quite some time now, though, and he is just cranking out probes. If we check at the worker count, Genius is up 64 to 54 right now. But here we have another engagement. This Colossus is going to die extremely fast to these Vikings. And it looks like Maka has more than enough bio forces to keep up this time around. He's probably just going to be able to mow right through this expansion if Genius is not able to do anything. He's warping in a lot of Zealots here to help out with that charge. Is going to be nice, but force fields there definitely would have been nice. He's got 2 sentries with full energy. Could have just spammed force fields right here, cutting Maka's army in half. That Nexus does go down, and that's all Maka really needed to do there, was take out that Nexus. And 1 lone Zealot over here trying to take out an orbital command. He's going to meet a grisly death. 4 mules coming down at one time. Actually 6 mules coming down at one time, so Maka was getting a little bit behind on his energy spending. Looks like Genius is back in the fray already with several High Templar this time in tow. Has Maka been keeping up with these Vikings? Yes, he certainly has. He's got 3 Ravens still ready to go. He's got lots of energy built up on those, so point defense drones will be making a huge deal.